All right, all right. Hello guys, how you doing? I hope everybody's keeping well. Welcome to the show. Let's try and get this screen. Sorry, I didn't set this up. I just basically just jumped on the stream. What happened was as soon as I was doing all of this, I had a call. So you probably seen the time moving as well a little bit. So really apologize for all of this. Um, but yeah, I was just like, kind of like, setting it up. While I was setting it up, I had a call. I had to take that call, and quite funny because it's pretty much related to what the title is, like how to avoid scams. So when something is too good to be true, you got to be really careful, right? Because it's a common thing that comes up, and I'll tell you where this whole title came up from. So on Discord, I'm actually launching a crypto school. Uh, uh, Mass mention. Okay, that's not a problem. Don't worry, Rizwan. Don't worry about that. So Rizwan was getting a mass mention thingy. Let's have a look at Rizwan. Yeah, no, that's fine. He's going to be okay. No worries. So the situation that we've got is a lot of people are going to be joining the school. We've got tons of people coming into the school. You can see a lot of people. Awesome. And what happened was I saw this. So let me show you what I mean, right? So I saw this on the thing and I was like, invested 2K, wants to help long term. Invested into what? So this fella is a friend of this guy, which is fine. So they're actually colleagues, so they know each other, which is awesome. And when I saw that, I was curious. So I asked this guy, because I know him personally, and I asked him, he's a friend of mine from school. So I asked him, I said, can you tell me what this guy means? And it triggered me. It's like, apparently he's invested something somewhere and someone's offering him some sort of a reward or something like that, right? Like a good return on investment. And I was like, guys, you gotta get the fuck out of there, right? You don't go into anybody who promises you high return on investment or whatever like this, right? You don't do that kind of bullshit in crypto. No, it doesn't exist, right? In crypto, we don't look for masses of returns and this and that. There's no such thing as free Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the most scarcest asset on the planet. There's not many left. Everybody wants a chunk of it. And you're willingly giving your chunk to somebody else for them to earn you money on your piece. No, you don't do that. You do your own research. You go and do your own investment in your own thing. So that's what I'm going to talk about here today. So this is the main subject of the day, right? How to avoid these too good to be true scams. Of course, some of them are okay. So when we see some scams, right, we see some of these things and we're like, okay, well, I call them all scams anyway, but I'm not saying it in that sense. What I'm trying to say here is, look, there are offers out there. There are sometimes you get, for example, I'll give you a good example here, like Coin Market Cap, right? Let's go to Coin Market, forget all of this, right? Let's go to Coin Market Cap and let's see what's going on. So for example, here, they do free airdrops, right? So Coin Market Cap has this thing, oh, look, we're going to give you free airdrops if you come and join in this and that, right? Now, they do give you free airdrops, but at the same time, what I found was a lot of these companies, they're saying we'll give free airdrops and this and that. And of course, they want as many customers as possible. So they're not completely aware of what's going on. And they have these certain conditions. And they say, join our Telegram, join our Discord, join this, join that. They're growing the community. Once they get, you've got millions of people viewing this website. Once they get hundreds of thousands of people following them, they get the green check mark and everything. And they kind of legitimize themselves, right? But remember, airdrops, it's free, fine, you can go and get it. You can go and give away what you want. I don't. I see this all the time. I'm not interested. Like, here, Bunny Park airdrop, join. And I'll give you a good example, right? Watch how this works, right? Watch how this works. Let's do this. How to participate. So go to CoinMarketCap, add this to your watch list, go to their Twitter account, join their Telegram channel, whatever, fill in this airdrop thing and put all your details in. Do you see what I mean? So all of this kind of stuff. Zilla updates some bullish upcoming news. All ETC bridge contracts is bullish. What's your thoughts? Definitely, KR. Oh, by the way, welcome to the show, KR. Awesome. Sorry, bro. So this is what I'm trying to say. So this is a way of groups and tokens to basically get you onto their list and grow their group and then show, look, we've got 50,000 people on our Discord, we've got 50,000 people on our Telegram, and then push you information. Because remember, these airdrops that they do, they're not really that much. It's a very small amount. Like here, $20,000 airdrop. Participate in the $20,000 airdrop. So if 50,000 people join, how much are you really getting? People don't see this because they see the 20,000. They're assuming they're going to get 20,000. No, you're not. That's the total airdrop. It's a total $20,000 airdrop. If 20,000 people join, you're only getting $1 each. Is it worth you giving up all of this for this? So that's what I'm trying to say, guys. If it sounds too good to be true, understand there are other ulterior motive behind it. So when somebody comes in and says, like, for example, you know, we'll give you this much on return on investment, we'll make 1 BTC into 5 BTC, be very cautious about it, you know. But you don't need any of this stuff. Like, for example, recently we run something, so give me a second, not this one. Recently we run something, let me get rid of all of this, sorry. This is I was doing some stuff on my software, and some delivery stuff, obviously, and Just Eat as well. So let me log out of all of these, guys. Give me a second. So let's go back into this and let's open Bybit. All right, and I'll show you what I mean. So there was a giveaway recently, and I've mentioned it. But why did I mention it, and what's the benefit of this particular, you know, what's going on? Like, you know, in this one, all you had to do is deposit a specific amount. So I said I want to deposit around this amount here, and we've deposited, right? And once you deposit that, you'll get XYZ amount of bit token, which you can see here. Now we know bit token, bit event, right? You can go in, then you can see only for depositing money, you get a certain amount of tokens, right? That's all you get. You get a certain amount of token allocation. So we checked this and we said, all right, you're getting some free stuff. So for example, here, look, they can see how much I've deposited. So that's the amount they can see. Congratulations, right? Calculations. This is what I've got. Over the next 5 days, they're going to be calculating this balance amount over the next 5 days. And then they're going to reward me whatever bit tokens basically I'm going to get. KR, what happened? Hold on. Why did Nightbot win? Interesting. Wow. Oh, KR, caps lock. Did you do something in caps lock? A Nightbot doesn't like caps lock. So Nightbots want you to just type normal stuff without caps lock. That's weird. Timed you out for 5 seconds. Nightbot is there moderating. But anyway, so don't worry, bro. You're fine. You'll be fine. Okay, Nightbot does this all the time. Let me see. Yeah, Nightbot is moderating it. So anyway, you'll be fine. Don't worry, bro. You can chat again. It's not much of an issue. Yeah. Nightbot. Anyway, so you can see what this is. So this is where I'm going to get my reward. Now, all I'm doing, this is a legit exchange. So one thing I know, this is a legitimate exchange, super solid exchange. I'm not spending anything. I'm not giving anybody my money. I've just deposited my money into their platform. So I trust them and I've given them my money. I'm just holding. I'm not trading. I'm not doing anything. And I'm going to get some free tokens for that. Happy days. And once I get the free tokens, then I can participate with the free tokens into another product. You see what I mean? If they do an airdrop here, for example, I'm participating with the... So I didn't share anything else other than joining up this exchange with my email, which I would do on any exchange anyway. Verifying myself, which I would do anyway. That's it. I didn't do anything. I don't have to join their Discord. I don't have to join their Telegram. I don't have to follow them on Twitter or any of that bollocks. You know what I mean? So this is the kind of stuff you need to understand. You know, so I know this is not too good to be true, and of course it's all legit. So this is what I'm saying. If you do go into exchanges and this and that, right, what you have to do is understand that, sorry, you're better off going into exchanges. That's what I'm trying to say here, right? You're much better off going into exchanges and getting the reward directly from the exchange. You know, avoid people giving you promises and this and that, right? Even on Binance, for example, if you go, you can see the Binance has where is it? Not derivatives, not there. They got a section here, finance, for example. You can actually go to Binance Earn and earn some rewards there, API there as well. For example, if you stake your BNB, you get 6.2% for 60 days if you do it. If you do Ethereum staking, that's forever. Obviously, that's a different story. Anything up to this is a variable amount. USDT, BTC. So we can see that's an interest they're giving to you, right? And that's the most realistic because BTC is not free. And what they're doing is they're taking your BTC, they're lending it out to leverage traders or whoever, and then they bring it back and then they give you that interest distributed to everybody. And that's all you're going to get. So if we know these super top established, you know, exchanges are giving you like 0.5%, then how is it possible someone's going to be able to give you, 5%, 10%, 20%? You've got to be very, very curious, because there's not enough available to give free to everybody. Do you know what I mean? So please do understand. And remember, this is APY. This is annual. This is annual percentage yield. That means you take that and you divide it by 12. So you take 0.5 and divide it by 12. That's how you're going to see exactly how much money you're going to get per month. You divide it by 365. You'll see how much interest you're actually going to get per day. It's nothing. I mean, if we do 0.5, for example, let's do this right now. So get a calculator. 0.5 divided by 365. Your interest will be 0.001%. 0.001%, right? Do you understand what that really means? 0.001%. That's a very small amount, right? Very, very small amount. You take 0.50%, right? And then you divide that. Where's the division gone? Divide that by 365 days, and boom, that's how much money you're going to get interest per day. So when you multiply this by 7 and someone's saying they're going to give you 20%, and you say, okay, be careful, because the fact is, look, this is what the reality is. In 7 days, that's all you should be getting. There's no free coins out there. So please be careful when someone promises to you, we're going to give you XYZ, we're going to listen, be realistic. Nobody has any free money there. Of course, USDT is a different story. They give you 1%. Right? Some companies even give you more. In fact, I've mentioned Nexo, I've mentioned BlockFi. They give you up to 8%. Some of them give you up to 12% for locking it there. And they do the same thing. They take from you. They, obviously it's locked on their platform. And then what they do is they lend it out to other people. And give me a second. Let me just catch up with the thing. You don't have to apologize to the Nightbot. It's a bot. But yeah, so that's what you have to understand, right? So the yield you're going to be earning is from they will be lending it to leverage platforms and everything, and then leverage platforms obviously would liquidate every other idiot out there, and then they take the money off them and then they bring it back and give it to you. Happy days, we all win. Do you know what I mean? So ultimately we will always win, because end of the day, some idiot somewhere got liquidated, right? If that makes sense to you. So that's what I'm trying to say. Just be realistic. There's no such thing as free crypto. Anybody offering you free crypto, there's always a catch. So please do understand, okay? There's not enough of this. Like, we've only got approximately 2.2 million BTC remaining. And the last BTC will be arriving in the year 2140. So if someone's saying, I'm going to give you 20% more BTC, well, what they're doing is they're getting you ready, setting you up emotionally, mentally, so that you can pump in more money and see those gains and eventually give them all the whatever Bitcoin, £2,000 worth of Bitcoin or whatever you've invested. That's what's going to happen with you. So please be careful with these stuff, right? That's all I wanted to warn everybody about, because it is a big problem out there. It's not, and a lot of people think it's always to do with crypto. No, guys, there are so many platforms and so many scams out there who promise to give you something. Like, I'll give you a good one here. I haven't deleted it yet, I believe. So somebody messaged me. Here, look, giveaway crypto. So someone clearly found my thing. They said, oh, we're doing a giveaway. Okay, fine, you're doing a giveaway. What's the giveaway? Oh, let's look at this. Top crypto giveaway from 0.1 to 0.3 Bitcoin and 5 mega prices from 0.4 to 1.5 Bitcoins. Right? How do you get this? You want whatever your promo code. So they give you some fake promo code. They want you to go and register in bytextox.com, whatever. Sounds very toxic to me anyway. Go to setting, enter the code, withdraw your BTC to your address. Done. Now I can assure you, you go to put a withdraw, they will say put your BTC, connect your BTC wallet here. Put your seed phrase, because there are people, stupid people, who will actually put their seed phrases in there, and now they have access to your wallet. They have access to your wallet, right? They will scan it and they will see how much money you have in your wallet, and before you blink, they will say, okay, don't worry, transaction's been sent, your money's coming. They've wiped you out and they've blocked you from their website altogether, and this domain goes away, vanishes, gone. Do you know what I mean? That's how these companies operate. And you can see somehow this giveaway thing, whatever it was, found me on another mutual server. So they found me on DeFi Llama. So this is DeFi Llama. I've never messaged anything on DeFi Llama. Look, I've never done anything on DeFi Llama. So what they did was they found me on DeFi Llama. They grabbed my thing and they realized, okay, let's get into this guy, because obviously they're not verified and they can't join my server, because on my server you have to be at least email verified to join. So because you're not verified, they said, okay, let's contact this guy directly and see what's going on. And see what I mean? So this is what they're doing. Complete scams out there. Complete scams, right? So understand what I'm trying to say. And there's so many of these. There was another one here, this one here, right? This one here, 10,000 adorable, whatever. Okay, fine. He wants me to join all of these groups and everything. For what? Do you know, for what? Do you know what I mean? Ownership stored on, anyone's creating it. So I'm looking at this and I'm like, for what? So that's what you have to understand, guys. Just be absolutely careful when you deal with stuff like this. Obviously, this is a spam, so I'm going to report him as a scam. Submit. I don't want scams. And there's another one here, obviously. Report him as a spam as well, because he's a spam and he's a scam, in my opinion. So that's the kind of stuff you have to understand. Be careful. Nobody gives you anything for free, ultimately, right? There are things called like, so for example, when we do, there are things called like fair launch. Now, a fair launch, I'll give you a good example of one, which is very scammy, but it's a good fair launch, actually. Let me give you pulse chain, right? All right, let's go here. Let's go here. This was a fair launch. So what did he do with the fair launch? How did he do it? To avoid all the scams and to avoid looking like a scam, to avoid SEC and regulations, this is what he did. He literally copied Ethereum. So that Ethereum, he literally forked Ethereum, fine. So, and then it's faster, fee burning Ethereum fork, fine. That's what he's done, called post chains, right? And he's telling people how post chains sacrificed a certain amount of dollars to raise money for sense.org, which is true as well, which is all fine. But this is how he sacrificed it. He said, you are going to be sending a sacrifice. That means you're not going to be getting your money, right? That money you give to me, that Ethereum, that Bitcoin you drop to this wallet, you're not going to get anymore. Once all of this is done, half of this money is going to be, or some of this money is going to be donated. Fine, he's donated £25 million for medical research. Happy days. How to give people 2 months more extra in their life, apparently. I don't know how he does that, but that's what apparently he's planning. Anyway, but he called it a sacrifice, right? So normally a fair launch is you offer what you want and we'll split that share and give everybody accordingly. So if someone gives me 10 Bitcoin, I'll give him 10 Bitcoins worth. So we take 10 Bitcoin, 5 Bitcoin, 1 Bitcoin. We calculate how many Bitcoin there is or Ethereum there is. And then we split it amongst those people in those equal shares. And that's how a fair launch normally would be. You give us the price. You offer us how much you want for this crypto. So we're not asking for money. You give us. And a good example of that was Yearn Finance. This one here, Yearn Finance, where is it? All right, good example was Yearn Finance, who did a fair launch, right? Who literally just put every single coin on the market and said, you know, we're basically offering all the tokens. You decide how much you want to pay for it. And that pumped really awesome. So that was really good as well. And then that's how they launched. You know, of course, later on, they printed a few more. That was a kind of a bit of a bad thing, but that's what they did. So, but this guy's doing it differently, saying, well, you sacrifice it. You're not offering me. You're sacrificing. Full, it's gone. You've donated it. So, because donations are not taxable. So that's what this guy's done, right? But it's okay. He's a legit guy, you know, and he's definitely forked it. And I'm sure he's coming out with something cool. So that's one thing to look at, right? You know, but look, again, he hasn't created anything new. He just forked Ethereum and changed a few structures inside. And he's trying to get the customers, but people believe in him, and they've, you know, I think he raised almost about $700 million through this thing. Do you know what I mean? Where he said just sacrifice, and people trust him, so they sacrifice. This is not a bad deal. Do you know what I mean? So there are, you know, ways of doing things, but when someone says to you, "I'm going to give you 20% return on your investment," the first thing you got to ask yourself is how. Sorry, where did you get that from? Here, I understand he's going to take whatever Ethereum or Bitcoin you give him, and he's going to give you equivalent amount of his coins based on that. Fine, he's done it before. right? Yearn Finance gave you the equivalent amount. Fine. So you're going to give me 20% return on investment from what? You're going to give me 50% on what? There are yield farming protocols out there giving 200% on USDT, and I'm thinking, from where? Where do you get that 200% that you're promising me? You know, so you've got to be very, very careful with these guys, these things, right? I mean, I have seen 10-15% being possible. Those look a lot more legit, but when I see higher amounts, I'm out. I'm not there. That's why I don't farm. You know, I do farm like tokens. So on IDOs and decentralized exchanges where they do token launches. So I usually lock my token there and they give me based on whatever. So this is the same thing as what Bybit just did. This is known as a IDO launch, right? Or farming. So this is when you see this asset here and when you see that BitDAO thingy, that's what I'm doing. I'm farming. So how I'm farming, I locked. So there's a condition you have to meet, right? So I locked approximately this much. You can see this is the amount of BTC. So total amount is worth in this much BTC. I locked it here and I'm going to be basically farming this token. Simple. That's farming, right? So it's very basic. You know, each exchange has its own rules. Like someone would say, oh, hold Polkadot and you'll get all of this. For example, if you hold Polkadex token, you get anything on the DEX, you get some of that as well. On Binance, if you hold the BNB token in the BNB vault, where is it? BNB vault, not this one. Let's go back 1 second. Binance pool, Binance. No. I know there's a section there where it says, I think this is the one. Yeah, I think this is the one. So if you go to Launchpad or Launch Pool, I can't remember which one. Anyway, one of these, right? And yeah, there it is. So you will get rewarded, and you know I've been rewarded in this as well. So you get rewarded for just holding Bitcoin, so your Binance coin. So these are what's known as farming, right? You know, DEX or exchange farming. You know, IDO, initial, whatever you want to call it. So that's what it is. Do you know what I mean? So that's how it works. Just for holding your token, you get some money. So there are certain conditions, like KCS, for example, KuCoin. They have another one. If you want to farm, they actually have a really good one as well. KCS, not KCS. Let's do KuCoin. So it's easier for me to show you what KuCoin does, right? Leave that. Let's just jump into KuCoin. I'm not going to log in. With KuCoin, if you hold their KCS token. So I forgot how many KCS, right? If you hold a specific amount of KCS, the KuCoin token, they actually give you the revenue share. So it's like you're buying a share. The KCS token is like a share token, right? So when you hold the KCS token, they're giving you a share of whatever they earn, right? And you get that directly. Where is it? Is it here? Yeah, look here. For example, this one. Yeah, this is the one. I don't want to log in. What's wrong with you? They want me to log in, but I'm not going to log in, guys, because I don't have the phone with me, the one I need to log in with. I'm just using my normal phone today. So what was I saying? Yeah, so KCS, if you go to the bonus, right? So this is what it is. Just hold KCS and they give you, sometimes they give you other tokens, sometimes, and most of the time, just for holding, I think it's anything more than 6 tokens, they actually give you a revenue share. I mean, that's awesome, right? So that's what's happening, right? A lot of these exchanges have realized this, and also this exchange has kind of indicated what's happening as well. For example, if you go here, they've indicated something, right? A lot of people didn't read this. Look, so just by leaving your money there, look, more projects are coming, stay tuned, right? And this is what this says. Please note that for all upcoming new projects, the amount of BIT you hold will determine your token allocation amount. So when new projects come, you're getting even more free money. That's all you're doing. Do you know what I mean? So this is what you have to, these are the genuine things. These are the things you should be doing, not the ones somebody's promised you. Okay, so be very careful, right? You know, I'm not going to be the nicest guy here. I'm not going to be anything. You know, I don't want to be a mentor. I don't want to be anything. I'm doing the school. That's a different story. But facts are facts. If it's too good to be true, usually is, and that's how they scam you. Anything with high yield, they always scam you, right? At least these guys are not doing high yield, and your money is protected because you're inside a actual exchange, right? So these centralized exchanges do have their plus points in that sense. You know what I mean? you know, like for example, if you go crypto.com and if you hold a certain amount of Crow token, you get these bonuses and whatnot. Everyone's doing something very unique, but ultimately for projects to launch on the exchange, they do some giveaway, and at least you know that that project is now legit, not just promising you something, right? So be careful with all of this, guys. Stay away from the hype. Very important to stay away from the hype. Also, I'm not sure if the chat is actually working, so let me go and check if the chat is working, because as usual I have this stupid problem where my chat doesn't work. Let's have a look if the chat is working. Okay, so we still have the last chat from KR, which is okay. That's not an issue, right? Okay, so yeah, I hope this kind of makes sense. I hope everybody understood that, guys, too good to be true is usually going to be a scam. Avoid all of those things. You don't need them. Stick with the main exchanges. You'll be fine. If you want to take high risk stuff, then go to some liquidity mining or something like this. And liquidity mining is quite cool as well. Go over there and you take that high risk. But here, I think these are the safest bets. Stay safe. If you're not, if you're not experienced enough or you don't have enough money to lose, don't take that risk. That's all I'm going to say, because, that's what's going to happen. You are going to end up losing money, right? So, yeah, I mean, stick to the main ones if you're new to the industry. That's what I'm going to say. Right, let's go into a chart. Let's quickly drop a chart. We talked about how we have this falling wedge or falling range, right? Zone here. We can see we've drawn this. This is from yesterday as well. I didn't change anything. This is yesterday's chart. And you can see how we bounced here perfectly. We're bouncing back up again. Absolutely everything is fine. But what I want you all to absolutely notice and remember, so don't forget while it's hyping, tomorrow is the options expiry date. And I think we've got, what's his name? OC. OC wants to do a trade. So OC, if you do want to trade, you got to be very careful and you got to understand how these things work. So you asked me a question that, is it necessary for these to drop? Well, I can tell you right now what this market is indicating. This is telling me it's coming into that low zone. So if OC you are watching, then bro, this is the time when you buy. Do you know what I mean? This is actually indicating and telling us that this is when you should buy. So remember, for you to trade on lower time frames, you only need to follow this stochastic RSI, right? This stochastic RSI, this blue and red line, right? When the blue line flips back up, this is it. And remember, I think you mentioned something about 80 and 20, so I'll show you what the 80 and 20 means, right? So the stochastic RSI, when you go to the stochastic RSI, the setting, this is the 20 and this is the 80. You buy below the 20 and you sell above the 80. Full stop. That's easy, in and out, right? That's what you do. There's no emotion, nothing. You just sell around here. If you want to stick around, happy days. But ultimately, you sell anywhere above this, you're always going to be in profit. You sell anywhere below, you buy anywhere below here, you're making money. Now, when it came to the RSI, I said I have a custom setting. Normally, by default, RSI is set up on 70. And hold on, let me show you actually. It'd be easier to show you. Let me show you RSI. If I just bring the RSI over, then you'll understand what I'm trying to say. So this is RSI. You can see here. Let's zoom in. So on an RSI, you can see how we have a 70 and we have a 30. All right, that's the default setting for RSI. You can see here inputs. Sorry, not input style. You can see 70 and 30. All right. This is it. That's the default. So normally, traditionally, people follow the traditional stuff, and they follow when it comes down to 30 below, then you buy. When it goes above the 70, you sell. But we're not in a traditional market, right? And we want to demonstrate this here on a higher time frame. We're not in a traditional market. So you can see this RSI could go all the way down to, like here, for example, it went down to 15. Here you can see it went all the way up to 89. So during these times, and if we show you this, for example, where it went high up, you can see the market still pumping. So what you need to understand is, wait, hold on, not there. So what you need to understand is how, of course, they pump, they go above these lines, and this is when you're kind of like, with the 75 level, at least 70, you kind of miss some of this. So for me, I'm like, okay, I don't want to take the risk. And I've seen a common pattern, and this common pattern is that those are the volatile times. Of course, these are when the market was volatile, but usually we do peak up to the 75, and the 75 is actually a good risk-taking area. Anything higher than that is obviously more risky, and of course is very good. If it keeps on pumping, good luck, and what I say to people is, if it's pumping up to the above the 75, right, it goes to the 75, great. after that, you can start taking your initial out or whatever, and then sit back and relax. So these are, you know, how you need to understand if you want to open a trade, what you need to do and how you're going to make money. Also below 30, you'll find that a lot of the time, we do spend a lot of the time not below the 30. So if you look carefully, we don't spend enough time below the 30. So because of that, I've set it up as 40, because that gives me more range to enter, if that makes any sense to you. So I will actually, as I said, on the school, we will talk about this. When we start the school, this is one of the things we're going to be talking about. In fact, I think, I mean, I can show you here, for example, the lessons. So these are the lessons we've got. We're going to do an introduction to the charts. So everybody's going to know what the charts are, how the charts work, and what tools you need, and where all the tools are located. So we're going to do one whole lesson of that. That will be the most boring one, probably. For those who actually understand the charts. Then we're going to talk a lot about moving averages, because those are very important, and you need to really understand moving averages. Of course, there's a lot of the time you won't see me do certain things, but ultimately I am actually still following my moving averages. Okay, when we're looking at indicators, I'll show you which indicators to use, which is the prime indicators if you are trading, or just spot trading as well, or even just leverage trading, whatever. There are actually some prime indicators that don't get enough respect. I do use them, I do show them on my charts, and I think those are the indicators you need, and I'll show you how to set those indicators up as well. Trend lines is something very important. You have to actually understand how trend lines work, and once you understand where to place your trend lines and how to evaluate things from that point, you can actually we can move on to the next subject, which is going to be you know, and these are going to be, each one is going to be on a independent day, and then we're going to make a playlist, and then so everybody, the world, can use this and learn from this, right? Trend analysis, so we can actually see, okay, we analyze the trend and we say, okay, what's this trend going to do? Is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? So you've seen me a lot of the time where I say, okay guys, it's bearish, you know, or I'll say, oh guys, look, it's bullish. So we're going to use all of this above, you know, so as we progress, every time we go down, we're going to use everything else included, so to do the analysis, right? Now, once we learn analysis, we're going to go to lesson number 6, or module number 6, whatever you want to call it, right? It's not a module, but it's going to be a lesson number 6, where we will be actually buying using all of these technicals. We're going to be buying, and then we're going to be selling on another thing, again using all the technicals, right? And then, for example, this is just buying and selling. Now we want to forecast, right? So we're going to actually learn how to forecast and say, okay, this is the probability, this is what it does, and that's going to be an intensive one, very intensive. So we're going to be doing that as well. And then I'm going to teach you, like, big common question everybody asks is, when is the great time to buy? And there's actually market signals. There's actually 3 or 4 check marks that you can use as a market signal that will confirm exactly when you should buy. And it doesn't matter whether the market's going down in a bear market or a bull market. You have to be able to buy when all 3 of this scenario comes into confirmation. And the same thing applies when to sell, but slightly varies. So you have one method of doing the buys and one method of doing the sells, slight variation. You need a notebook. So remember all of this, guys. When you do come in, please make sure you have what do you call this, make sure you get a notebook and at least have your laptop or something ready with you, so you can tag along, follow along, and we can do all of this stuff. Excuse me one second, let me quickly answer this call. 1 second. Okay, not important. Happy days. So we've got all of this. Yeah, so that's going to be a very interesting thing. And I'm going to do, like, this is going to be like a deep one. So everybody on the group now, I also want to know, a lot of people may be thinking, why do we need names if you're going to do it on YouTube? Well, I'll tell you why we need names. Because we're not doing this live on YouTube. We are going to do it live, and we are going to record this, but it's not going to be released instantly. It would be released later, solely because there may be students here or other viewers who may have questions and this and that. They might not be comfortable public knowing about it. Some questions might sound a bit stupid or not relative. So what I'm going to do, I will edit those parts before I release it. I don't want any of the people joining here to feel uncomfortable. Right, so in order for that, to protect them and to make sure that they all feel comfortable with all of these lessons, or if they ask me any questions or anything, because we are going to do this live. right? So they're going to be literally talking to me. So I know a lot of people are afraid of all of this stuff. That's fine. If there is something and they made a mistake, and you can say, okay, just please cut that out. I'll make a note and I'll cut that out. So that way it's a fresh thing. It's clean. Myself, I don't need cuts, but if any one of you guys need, then that's what I'm going to be doing. So it's going to be a lot more easier, and I think it's going to be helping. And yeah, you can see a lot of people are coming on board. So that should be really, really awesome. So yeah, I mean, other than that, looking at the market right now, let's go back to the market, guys. What are we doing? My God. So where are we right now? We got too deep into this. We're talking about this, right? So where are we right now? What are we doing right now? So what did I say? Okay, the signals that we got so far are showing super bullish. So if we want to jump in, then this is the time. Everything is indicating good time to buy. Also, you can see the RSI did dip down. So here we had all of this confirmation. We dipped down and we're above the 40 and we're moving back up again now. So this is the time. Somebody asked me yesterday, should I FOMO in? I was like, yep, this is the time when you FOMO in if you really have to, right? I wouldn't really do it, but this is the time because we do have the 24th, but we've already seen, remember the rule is very simple. If you see a pump, then you have a dump, and if you see a dump, then you have a pump, right? So here you can see we dump, and then we started pumping. So this pump has already started. So just to let you know, guys, this pump has already started, and the lower time frames are doing awesome as well. 4 hourly showing slightly bearish, but that's fine. We might come down again. Remember, we're in a channel right now, so this channel could bring us back down here. As long as we have a lower high, a higher low, we're fine. I don't see much of an issue here. All right, and on the hourly, as I said, the signals are pretty much just buy. You know what I mean? On the hourly, the signals are pretty much just buy and just move on. So this is the pattern we've got. Sorry, I've been doing some work yesterday. This is the pattern we've got. So yeah, I mean, we might still continue to pump a little bit and then keep on bouncing around this line. As long as we keep on bouncing around this line, we're absolutely fine. Our main target is to get back to this $46,000, $47,000 level, especially here by tomorrow. So in the next 2-3 days, I would say we need to get to this $46,500 level. That's the target. If we can get to this level, break above, and come back into this white line here, this trend line here, we should be absolutely fine, guys. Let's have a look at Ethereum and see what Ethereum is doing, because I know some of you guys like Ethereum, and I think brother KR wanted to talk about Zil, so we are going to talk about Zilliqa as well a little bit. I won't go into the news, but I'll talk about the other stuff. So Ethereum looking okay. Yeah, what do I need to see with Ethereum? So this is what Ethereum is doing, right? So this is the pattern we've got. I want to see this. I want to see Ethereum complete this second leg. So far, it seems to be doing this, which is fine. And it's indicating it wants to go and do this. And that's what I'm going to be expecting. So Ethereum is telling me that the market might have another little bit of a shakeout. And if it does, it should be quite awesome. But then again, it's in a really good position right now, right, to actually bounce. So if you look carefully, I'll zoom into this to show you. If you look carefully, so it's got 2 options right now. So we have to be keeping 2 options open for us. Number 1 option is Ethereum comes in and it's already done this, all right, and it probably comes down here. So this is a probability, and then we move up, right? So we see this. This is one option, number 1. Option number 2 would be that Ethereum has already done this wave we were going to see, this downward momentum. It's already done this and it starts shooting up from here. So that is what the option number 2 is. Now this all depends within the next 2-3 days. As I said, this is a critical point to look at. From that point onwards, we should be, you know, either bullish or bearish. And so far, if we look at all the indicators are telling us the higher probability of us coming down here. So look, if you look carefully here, and if you look carefully here, we've got this high probability that we are going to come down and touch this. All right, so the indicator is telling me, yes, everything looks super bullish, but it's not confirmed bullish. You see what I mean? Like, okay, we're moving up again, but we haven't really got that momentum yet. All right? We haven't got that momentum yet. So we can see that, okay, it's forming, but it's not ready yet. That means it could potentially come down a little bit more and then go up. So now if we talk about how far can it go up or down, let's try and see. Sorry, let's go back, delete some of this, and let's have a look and see how far can we actually go down. So we can use this, and you can use this area here, and let's just use the body here, for example. So it's saying, yeah, I mean, pretty much I would say the line, probably, definitely the line. So it's saying, yeah, you can come down back to the $2,800 level and then completely bounce. So just keep an eye on that, because you know, it's looking positive here, but I do have a confirmation that, for example, on the MACD, that the market does want to come down a little bit, because you can see on the MACD how we've had the leading line actually pointing down. when the leading line is pointing down, it's saying, look guys, that we need to come down a little bit more before we do the move. So let's see what it does, because we've got two divergences here. We've got bullish divergence here and we've got bearish divergence here. So that is the reason why we have two specific options, and let's hope we can keep our heads on our shoulders. Let's move straight over to dot is getting ready. I would say the pump is coming, the hype is coming, everything is coming. Again, dot is kind of following the market, the entire market. So if dot breaks this neckline, then dot's going to continue, hopefully. And I can see that when this news breaks out, when all the information comes, there's going to be a heavy FOMO, heavy you know, people coming in with a lot of money on this one. So that's going to be something you've got to be really looking out for. Solana doing the same thing, so nothing much. Solana's looking super bullish. However, we do have this bearish divergence forming here on the MACD, so we're going to keep an observant eye on this one and see where it takes us. So ultimately, if the market does a nice little dump tonight, then we can see we might bounce on this line and then continue. So we're going to observe this and see what happens. Right now, as I said, let the market do its thing. There's no point us looking at stuff and panicking or anything like this. The market's going to do its thing. There's nothing you could do. I mean, here, for example, Cardano, look at this. This is the trend line. Cardano fell below the trend line, so Cardano to be positive has to literally come above here, right? Can you imagine this? It literally has to come back to the $2.39 or 29 cents for it to be bullish again. So we're going to wait for all of this, and again, look, it doesn't change. It doesn't matter where we go. It doesn't change. Like, you know, we've got this. Hold on, let me just check something 1 second, guys, because I think I just realized something. I've been showing you the hourly chart. How stupid of me. So I'll go back to those charts. So yeah, I mean, we do have, this is looking bullish, obviously. Ultimately, everything is looking bullish on the hourly. So we can see a bullish thing on the hourly. But however, the MACD hasn't confirmed full bullishness. Yes, so let me go back because I've been on the hourly chart. So that's not fair. I can't show you an hourly chart and then say bullish or bearish, because that would be misinformation and wrong. So here you can see we are coming down. We haven't confirmed yet. So the MACD is not confirmed yet, definitely. Daily, everything else is showing bullish, but MACD not ready yet. If you're trading, you can use this signal and then continue, because that means it is still going to go up, but how up, we don't know. Where was I? Dot. So let's have a look at dot. Now dot, here's a very interesting one. So dot, obviously we've got bullish here, but this is still confirming. So the bearish divergence that I was talking about is still here. So funnily, even on the daily, it's still there. So it hasn't really gone away. Let's have a look at Solana. Solana, bearish divergence still there. Cardano, it's about to come. So it's still bearish, but it's about to come. That means we're going to probably see Cardano make a first move out of these coins that I've just shown you. So that should be quite interesting to see. And also, while I'm at there, let me have a look at BTC, because I was on the wrong time frame. It's very careful. You have to always double check your time frame and see what's going on. So here we can see, look, it's also forming this bullish divergence here, which means it is going to start pumping at some point. You know, so we can see all of this is giving us confirmation that we do want to pump, and we are going to probably see a pump either tonight or tomorrow. I would still say give it about 48 hours before we actually break the channel, because we have to break this channel and get back above this line. Right, so once we do that, then we're bullish again. So let's see what happens, because this is you know, it's a bullish pattern, that's for sure. This is a definitely bullish pattern. So when we're sloping down, it's very bullish, usually breaks out, but we just have to find that right point and understand that tomorrow is the options expiry. We might see a little bit of a dip, and the dip could bring us back down to the bottom of the channel, and then we shoot up, right? So it's not ready yet. You know, even though everything is indicating it is, as you can see, the MACD, which is the moving average, convergence, divergence, has said to us, no, we're not ready yet, guys. So we can use that. And that's where moving averages comes in, is I'll show you a lot of this stuff as well. And there are other indicators we can use. Let's move over to, let's see what we've got. Let's move over to eGold. Yeah, on the daily, we are seeing this bearish divergence forming here, even though the RSI is saying the trades are okay, but be careful, because the MACD is pointing down, so it's saying it might come down a little bit, come and test that line again, basically. But do you know what? Even if it does come back and test this line, this is still super bullish. super bullish, because what it did, it broke up, it went back into the channel, it created itself a brand new what do you call this, a support line. So we've got this diagonal support line, this is the trend line, it created that, and on top of that it broke above the previous time when it dumped. So all of this is just super bullish. And actually, when we're talking about support line, look at this, it created itself a brand new secure support line around this zone, which is awesome. So that means in the future we might not go below this $177. So that should be super awesome. AVAX didn't stop, still pumping, still super bullish. I'm a bit concerned, obviously, but because everything is saying overbought, it's just screaming overbought. So I know a lot of people might get caught out on this one. So all I'm going to say is just be careful, guys. And if you have made enough money, or at least you've doubled or tripled your initial investment. I know some people have probably already 10x their initial investment. I know these people personally. My advice is take your profits out. Take at least your initial investment out, because this is over pumped right now, and that money is going to come out and go into other stuff. So be careful with that one. AVAX, ZIL. I'm going to look at this. ZIL. So what's the ZIL doing? So ZIL has some great news coming along regarding the XCAD network and everything as well. And I'll show you XCAD as well. XCAD has been pumping. It's just been listed on a few major exchanges. So everything looking super awesome. And somebody mentioned something to me yesterday about ZIL being one of the most valuable blockchain, but undervalued. It's a blockchain. I wouldn't really call it the most valuable or anything like that. So sometimes we've got to really understand, guys. We don't need the hype and anything. ZIL is ZIL, full stop, right? Cardano's Cardano. That's what it is. That's what they are, you know. And as I said, everybody's doing the copycat thing now, where everyone's trying to be the next NFT platform or the smart contract platform. That's it. That's all they are. If you like it, if you picked ZIL to be your top currency, then stick to it. Do you know what I mean? Just stick to it. You got conviction, stick to it, and ZIL will make you rich, hopefully one day. So we all have our favorites, you know what I mean? So just stick to it, but don't go around overhyping things. Let's not do that. That's not how we operate. And as you can see, whatever the market's doing, ZIL is doing the same thing. I don't see anything different here ZIL is doing. When these good news come, what's the potential? Well, let's have a look and see, right? Let's try and get rid of all of this. And let's just look at it from where it is right now, right? And just say, okay, if this ZIL did break out from where we are today, and this was the recent thing, it's not really doing much. Do you know what I mean? If we look at the entire history, like for example the recent dump, and look at this top, then we can see, okay, 19 cents. Wow, okay, we're gonna make 19 cents. Great. It will make people rich. If you've invested $100,000, for example, right? And I'll show you this. This is funny because a lot of people don't understand these maths. So this was our previous high, and you invested $100,000 from this price here, 0.002, and we somehow go all the way to this 40. You've kind of like made 2,000% your money. Do you know what I mean? You made like 2,000% your money. I mean, I can do a calculation just to show you. You've made 2,000% your money. Super. Well, actually, no, not 2,000. Check this out. You've made 11,000% your money. Happy days. You've just made 11,000%. Super. There's nothing wrong with that, right? You know, that gives you that much money. But someone who's here, who's imagining those money, you got a bit of a problem. Do you know what I mean? You got a bit of a problem. So you have to really be careful, because if we do a pump from here for where we are right now, even back to the previous all-time high, you might do a 200% up to the thing, but that's about it. You know what I mean? But that's the entire market's going to do that. Do you know what I mean? Entire market's going to do that. So do understand this. These are critical stuff you have to understand. I know a lot of people don't understand it, but here's another one. I'll give you a good example. For example, BTC. For now, just do this. BTC, we dumped all the way down here. Well, how much did we actually do from here to here? Look, from here to that top, we did 80%. We did 80%. I'm not joking. We actually did 80%. So look at that, you know. So do understand what I'm trying to say. I mean, 80% of a BTC, that's, you know, like if you got a 40k BTC, you've made another 30k. Happy days. Do you know what I mean? So That's what it is. You got to really understand the power ratio. And in fact, for example, if we did go back to the all-time high from current, so from today, that's another 50%, almost 49%. That's not bad, is it? That's not bad, is it? So of course the numbers are confusing. I understand. 0.000 whatever. So be careful with all of those things. That's what I'm going to say. And actually, while you mentioned it, let's have a look and see if there's any Zilliqa news. Zilliqa news. Okay, whatever that was. So looking at this, the future of payments powered by Zilliqa blockchain demoed yesterday on whatever live session about understanding stablecoins and CBDC and whatever. Okay, I'm not going to go into there. So when was this? Let's have a look at this one. I think this was the latest one. Let's have a look at this article. Great. So that's the NFT projects. That's fine. That's fine. Tokenized single malt Scotch collection launches on Singapore exchange. Great. Okay. So people are going to be drinking NFTs. Very strong. Okay, I mean, these are like opinions. That's all I'm going to say, guys. Be careful, right? That's all I'm going to say. Be careful, because you know what? We can go into this forever and look at all of this stuff. But ultimately, this is the market. Take a screenshot of this, right? And this is Bitcoin. Take a screenshot of Bitcoin. And then if we go to Zilliqa and take a screenshot of that, you will see, right, that there's absolutely no difference here at all, right? Let's get into this. Let's delete this as well. And if you look, there's no difference. Right, it's the same pattern everywhere. The market's doing the same thing, so there's no point us. We know what the market's going to do. So that's all I'm going to say. That's one of the reasons why I want to start the school as well, because I know a lot of guys FOMO and this and that. And if I'm like, guys, please understand what's going on. Please understand what's going on. Please understand that just last week we were sitting at $900 billion. Please understand that we're still $70 billion less than where we were. Please understand. Please understand that, look, we're 7% below our 7-day average. Please understand. And please understand that changes every day, right? So, you know, constant, you gotta understand all of these things. Please understand that we were sitting at $2.16 trillion just the other day. You know, just the other day. So it's very important, guys. Very, very important. But yeah, other than that, guys, I'm not going to make this any longer. Like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. And what I'll do is I'll post one of the other stuff. I'm not sure who's watching or who's not, but I don't care. End of the day, I'm here for everybody. And if it kind of helps one person avoid scams and whatnot, that's what this whole video is about. If even one person can be, can be helped from avoiding scams, then I think I've achieved my goal today. So that's awesome. And yeah, other than that, like, share, subscribe. I'll catch you on another one very soon. I hope all of this was helpful. As I said, if you want to join the school and you want to get all of that, participate in that school that I'm going to do, then yeah, come and what do you call this? Come and join the Discord, and we move from there. But yeah, got loads of different stuff I need to do. I hope to catch you on another one. I know there was some request from OC and a few other people for a few other bits and bobs. I'm going to save that for the school. I think it's relative to the school. So there's a lot of stuff that we're going to go in deep. And for the school, it's going to be like, we're going to try and time it for an hour and do it. We'll do some Q&As and everything as well. So remember. And yeah, once you learn, you're going to be the boss. You're going to buy and sell, trade, do whatever like a boss. Yeah, you will only do it once or twice a year. Remember, I mentioned that I only do once or twice a year. You're going to learn exactly how to do it once or twice a year, you know, and how you're going to make money from that once or twice a year. So yeah, other than that, like, share, subscribe. I'll catch you on another one very soon. Adios, my amigos. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'm going to play the intro again, and then I'm going to leave. Adios.